Hey everyone, welcome to the first edition of New Year Black Me. What this channel is about is the year continues to progress, but being black has not changed. Being black in America seems to be this same negative stigma as it's always had. And in today's particular segment is going to be in regards to 6 things you should know when dealing with a police officer. And that could be whether you're stopped on the street or stopped in a vehicle. Many people believe it's an irrational fear that black and brown, more specifically black people, have in regards to police officer, but many would beg to differ, especially those who have died at the hands of police brutality and shootings, and those who just experienced it and they're still here to tell their story. And myself included. I've never been experienced police brutality, but I was driving, and you can tell it's pretext for being black and how you're treated versus if I was anyone else, I may not have guns drawn on me over something as a simple traffic stop that should have been dealt with appropriately as a normal traffic stop. So this is going to be 6 things you should, how you should handle yourself when dealing with a police officer. Again, that's my quick disclaimer. There's no lawyer-client relationship. There's no legal advice I'm providing. If you need a lawyer in regards to being stopped, you can reach out to one. But this is something you can find on public databases. Google is a powerful thing. So out of the 6 things, first thing first, have your license and registration available. If you don't have your license and registration available, you're scrambling, going through your glove compartment, your console, under your seat, and things like that, looking for your registration or looking for your insurance card while the police is there. It may... your hands are not in view, obviously, anymore because you're searching, you're reaching in your pocket, and sometimes a police officer can feel that their safety is threatened. Number 2 is following commands immediately, but checking your attitude at the door. And so what I mean is if he asks you to get out the car, just get out the car. Put your hands on the hood, whatever it is, just do what he says, but leave the attitude at the door, because if you're hostile and angry, that can just pretty much fuel them, and then things can escalate really bad. But you need to know your rights. So if they ask to search your car, even if you didn't do anything wrong, just say you don't consent to searches. Get his badge number. Don't verbally ask for it, but just look for it, remember it, and then file the claim later. If you do all the fighting on the street, you may end up dead or hurt versus just fighting in a courtroom. You want to be alive to make it to the courtroom to file a claim. So you can either be right and do all that yelling and be dead right, or you can just wait, bite your tongue, because it has more willpower. You have more willpower if you can bite your tongue than, shouting off at the mouth. So number 3, you need to be the de-escalator. So if they come at you and they're just yelling and cursing, don't mirror or match that anger. Just lower your tone, be more calm, because I'm so sick of hearing in the news where you have these unarmed black men and or they're innocent, but they're de-victimized by either their past or how they were acting because they were upset. Like, they don't have a reason to be upset, but and then that's supposed to be the reason why the police officer did what they did. So just check your, attitude. Before, have your hands in view. Hands 10 and 2. Hands up in the air. Number 5 goes hand in hand with number 4. That's be in view of the camera, and the body cam, dash cam, your recording or someone else recording. Look up Marcus Jeter. Marcus, Jeter, he had a $1.6 million lawsuit, and luckily he had a second dash cam. One thing I would say, I feel that he went wrong is he stayed in the car, and many people do. They're scared for their life, so they feel that the car is safe for them, but it's not, because it's going to be your word against theirs, because when there's a struggle in the car, there's not going to be a good video. of that. So if you're out in the view, maybe because the dash cam is on the driver's side of the police car, if you're in view of the dash cam, the dash cam can see what's going on. That can be evidence. If they have a body cam, it's evidence, because there's no struggle in a small confinement. Maybe someone else can see because they can't record you if you're in the car, but if they're hiding away recording and you're out in view, people can see what really happened. So being in view is very important, because you got to remember, people may be recording and people want to know what really happened. So be in view of any cameras or recordings. And like I said, it goes hand in hand with have your hands in view, whether they be up or 10 and 2 if you're in a car, and not in your pocket or not reaching for anything. I would go as far as saying, when you're in view of camera, also speak what you're going to do. So if they say, I want your license, or I want you to move to the right, say, okay, I'm moving to the right. Because it seems like so many people try to write the victim's narrative, especially if they're not alive to speak what they were doing. It's so many people saying what they were trying to do. They were trying to reach for my gun. They were not following my commands. But I think it's good to actually speak it, because now if it is recorded, people can see what your mindset was, what your state of mind was. Because if you say, I'm stepping to the right, or I'm getting my license as you asked, now we know what you were doing, and no one can write your narrative for you, because it seems like there's this shoot first, ask questions later, and people try to say what your state of mind is at the time. Number 6, there is no foolproof way that everything would go smoothly, even if you do all these things. Just know that sometimes things escalate, and they cause the escalation. But if you do everything right, at least we can say, hey, he did his part, and we can truly see if there's a violation or not, rather than trying to find everything you did wrong to justify the officer's actions, if the actions were, in fact, not appropriate conduct. So if I miss out on something, if you feel that there's something else that people should know, especially Black and brown people should know when dealing with a police officer, go ahead and put your comments below, subscribe, and hit the like button. Thanks for watching the first edition of New Year Black Me.